It's 7 o'clock. I'm here with. Oh, look, I got it right. Well, we're going to call him. He's barely floating. He's barely walking, and he's barely moving. All those things. And we've got Dave from Narrowboat Changing Pace, and very Chilli Jam Jeff in the corner down there. And, so, what we're going to do tonight? We're going to have a whiz round, see what everyone's been up to, and then we're going to have a little chat about crick afterwards, I think, as well. So, what I thought I'd do, I was going to get someone else to keep an eye on the chat, but Dave's on his mobile, so you probably won't see it, will you, Dave?
No.
No. So I'll bring any questions that come up as they come. I'll try and bring them up on the screen if they're relevant to what we're talking about. If not, we'll come back to them at some point. So I'll start with. Let's start with Saul. So
right,
what up to, what we're doing, what's been fixed, what hasn't?
Last month, I've finished the engine room painting. I've gone white.
So we'll recap the engine. Let's recap that Saul's engine blew up last month, and he's had to take it out of the boat. Hence the reason why he's refurbed his engine bay. So
that's all finished, and I've been painting on top of the roof as well, doing a bit of painting on the roof. And that is about all I've had time for because it's been that busy, to and fro-ing, and
What's happening with your engine?
I don't want to say too much because it might not happen, but it's possibility it's going in at the end of this week.
Okay, cool.
Possibly.
You got all the bits. Is it all back? Is it going back together, or
it's all back together? He welded the bell housing.
Right.
He actually welded that because we couldn't find one, and he's fabricated new fabricated new brackets for the front because one of them had snapped. So he's done that. So that's all that done, and he's changing the oil filter from the old-fashioned one to a screw-in type.
Oh yeah, ours was upgraded to that. Yeah. Ours was upgraded. Our old BMC was upgraded, much easier. Much easier. And are your mountains all right?
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they were pretty much new when we got.
Because when we got
the boat, they were pretty much new. Yeah, so
they're dear now, aren't they? Those engine mountains. They are very, very dear. So we'll wait next month. Hopefully, you'll be not barely moving. You'll be moving.
Yeah, we're back on the go. So we're just now trying to prepare for blacking of the boat.
Yeah,
that's next job. We're going to book in to a marina.
You're not booked in yet?
No, I'm waiting on them getting back to me.
Okay, are they fairly? Because they're usually quite booked up, aren't they? Well, they are down here. You have to book well in advance usually.
They're not too bad on the Lanky. Well, I'm going to Glasgow Marina, and that's not a very busy marina, that one. So if I can get in there, it's only going to be a week out of the water.
Yeah. That's all you need, really.
So, in and out job. So it should be pretty good. They're usually fairly good. She said she'd get back to me, but obviously bank holiday weekend, they just forgotten about me. So yeah.
So it's still there. You're still where you are. You haven't moved. You've been busy. You painted the engine bay. Started painting your roof.
Yeah.
And Sol just released his latest vlog, didn't you? I think was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, so I've watched half of it, and I'm going to watch the other half later on today. So, so worth a watch. Go over and see him and see what he's been up to. Right, okay, then that's Sol done. So, Jeffrey, sitting down in the corner.
My PA Louise says I ruined Crick.
Yeah.
What was that?
He's what?
My PA Louise says I ruined Crick.
Oh, Sol ruined Crick, yeah. Yeah, and calling me his PA.
So what
PA? Anyway.
What have we done? We took the toilet out, replaced it with the other one, although I haven't fixed it in yet because obviously we're modifying the bathroom.
All right, have you?
Yeah, then we had a water leak underneath the sink. I've never seen a fitting like it before. It was like an old-fashioned compression fitting, but plastic. You screwed together, and then on the other end of it was just push fit. And I think where she turns the tap, it's loosened it and it's moved and it's just pushed it out. So I've done that. What else have we done? About it really. I'm disappointed in the toilet people, Midland Chandlers, because I could have bought the toilet and the spare cassette there and took it away. But they said, oh, it's free delivery, so sod it, we'll let you deliver it. Toilet come, no spare cassette, on back order. Now, how can it be on back order?
No.
It was there. How can it be back order?
Yeah.
We've only got one cassette at the moment, which pissed me off a bit. What else is about it really?
When you say you fitted it in, but you haven't sort of
I
secured
haven't
it.
screwed it in. I haven't put it up against the wall because the wall's coming out. I might have to make sort of a wall high enough for it to be bolted to. I've got Chippy coming tomorrow to have a look at the doors we want making.
Right.
So this bloke I know, he's going to come and have a look, measure up, and gives a price to make 2 doors, one either end of the bathroom.
So it's walk-through.
So we'll have a walk through and get rid of the wall. Then we can move the shower over. And then after that, the next job is getting the washing machine in. And then I'm going to have to take the kitchen worktop off, move the cupboard along a bit, get it in, and then put a new worktop down. Yeah. But that's in progress. What else? I bought one of them brolly holder things. That's all right. That fits nice.
Oh, the brolly mate.
Brolly mate. Yeah, that's fine. Pleased with that. I bought some fenders. They're all right. But yeah, basically this and that, you know how it is. Oh, and we bought a bike. We had that come.
I've seen the bike.
Yes, it's all right. In fairness to them old boys, they did what they said. We got the rack thrown in on the deal. The only thing they couldn't do, and they did tell us at the show, we couldn't get the bigger tyres in time. We said, you can wait 10 days for them to come in and we'll do them, or we can send you the bike, because I was going to ask for the other tyres back anyway. So we got a spare set of tyres, and they said, no, have the bike and we'll send you the tyres on. So had a couple of spins in it. Yeah, it's good. Well impressed, and it folds down really.
It's an MI one, isn't it? I've seen them ones before. Yeah, it's quite
in the back of the Suzuki in the box, so it's small enough.
Yeah,
I'll clear the engine room out, ready for it to go in the corner.
Yeah,
so, we've been busy enough.
Does that mean that me toilet's nearly ready then?
Toilet's out, mate, in the garage.
Is it?
Sweet.
I'll have to sort something out with you on that.
Out, yeah. We've got 2 sets and a toilet, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll it's all right. The other thing is, when you press the button on the new one, it's like you have to press it 3 times, and then the green light comes on, and it goes off and flushes. But I don't have the green light tells you how full the cassette is. I don't understand, and I'm look through the paperwork. It doesn't tell you anything about this green light.
But normally the green light on the other one I don't know if it does green.
No, the other one doesn't have a green light. The only other one and it only works with one cassette. The red light comes on when it's nearly full.
Yeah, that's right. That I know what causes that. The sensor comes up inside the cassette. Trust me, I've put my hand in a cassette before to sort that out.
But
it's not the best. It's not one of the best jobs in the world.
No. But yeah, it's
like a float switch, float magnet.
Slightly bigger, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly bigger. That won't be a problem once we've ordered it all.
Yeah, that's all right.
The pipe needs to come in on the left-hand side of it, and the hole's on the right-hand side.
Yeah, they do swap over sometimes. Yeah.
I don't know how this does. I've had a quick look, but it's not in anyway properly. I don't want to put it in properly. It's usable.
No, not if you're going to rip it all out.
I have to move it to get the cassette out at the moment because obviously the door on the original one is smaller.
You've done well to get it in already, mate.
I tell you what, I
expecting to say it was still in the box in the garage.
Spun round as I carried it across the boat, and it's because they swivel, don't they? And I dropped it. It's spun. I went, oh shit! Don't want to drop that. Yeah, it's in.
Ceramic bowl cracking, mate.
Yeah, you don't want that, do you?
That was a small investment.
Yeah, but there you go. But yeah, that's it.
So that's you. That's you done.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll move on to young David.
Young. Let me call that outrageous.
No, I know. Just feeling old today, mate. So I thought I'd call you young. Anyway, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right. we haven't done a lot this month. We moved down.
You moved.
Yeah, we moved down. We put boat in a little marina for Crick, and then Lou's moved on. So this weekend I used the bits that I bought from Crick. So I did a partial engine service, changed oil. Didn't really need it. Oil quite clean, but changed filter, changed secondary fuel filter because they didn't have a primary fuel filter. So I've got that on order. Changed air filter, and it's cut down on smoking straight away. The on back at clip on air filter is like a rubber bung that you pull out, and it were all clogged up with leaves and dog hair and stuff. So I cleared that out when I fitted it, and it stopped smoking completely. There were only a bit of smoke anyway, but you know, it just wanted air filter will loppy. So
can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's happened my end, right, which I'm going to try and rectify, is I'm on Mrs. Warner's laptop and it's gone to sleep, and it's asking for it's asked for a password or a fingerprint, and she's not here, and I don't know either. So I'm going to leave you chatting for a second. I'm going to try and get hold of her and find out what the password is. So carry on going, Dave, for a second, all right?
Yeah. Good old Glenn. So yeah, we did a bit of boating. I've did a few little jobs in boat. Fixed a rail up above shower, what we use as a coat rack. Did a few of the little bits and pieces. Bloody fly flying around my head. And just a few general bits and pieces. So yeah, busy weekend. Our water pumps started going off when you're not drawing water, and I checked all that out. There's no leaks or anything, so I think we've got a little pressure pot and accumulator that pressures water system, and I think that's dropped down. Pressure in it's dropped down. I think it did it a couple of years ago, so I need to get a foot pump from somewhere. Just plug it into top of it and you can repressurize them. So I've got to do that. I just wanted to make sure it weren't leaking, but there's no leaks. It's as dry as a bone. I've also been looking at in our clarifier. We've got an immersion heater, like an element, and I've been looking at 12-volt replacements because we've never used 240 and it don't work. So I've been looking at 12-volt replacements for it, but from reading 12-volt Facebook group, they reckon that getting a 12-volt immersion heater, it takes up to 3 to 4 times longer to warm the water up as it does using the 241 through your inverter. So if you've got good solar, it's better to use your inverter and a 240 immersion heater. It works out more efficient. So I'm going to do a little bit more reading on that, but I think that's where I'm going to go. So other than that, few of the little bits and pieces, not much really.
Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds like a lot. I'm back on, by the way. I'm back in the room.
Oh, yeah,
the nightmare was I'd have had to have ended. I wouldn't have been able to end the stream or anything because the screen was completely blank. So anyway, I've done it now. So yeah, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit, Dave. That's you've been busy. You've been busy.
Yeah.
So we on the other end have done we've been driving around a lot, but we were out in the boat. We were out up in where were we? Near Weed and Bogbrook for a little while. We took it up to Bogbrook, then I brought it back pretty much on my own through the tunnel and that, which was on a couple of weeks ago video. And then we've been down in Brixham, obviously, then Crick. Boat comes out the water next this Saturday, sorry, not next Saturday. It comes out the water this Saturday. So I'm hoping to get I've got the blacking to do. I've got to weld 6 anodes on. And I'm not going to get time to do much else, really. I don't think that week. So, I mean, and for us, it's not too bad because it costs us 50 quid to get it out. It on outstanding for a week, and then it go back in the following Saturday. So, I'll get all the blacking done. I'll get the anodes done, which are the important things. To be honest with you, where we are, we don't suffer a lot with the electricity thing, because even though they have electricity on site, no one's allowed to leave to keep that boat plugged in. Neither side, one side's never there. I've only ever seen them there twice since we've been there, and the other side, he doesn't plug in at all, or very rarely, unless he's using something. So we don't get too much electric, that electrode in the water. It's most of the boats next doors. I mean, he's only got 2 sockets, and his whole boat is like 12. He's made to rely on 12 volt, a bit like your Soul, really. He's mainly 12 volt, and it's geared up to. It's geared up for that. He has got a couple of sockets in there, but he doesn't use them very often. Most his TV's 12 volt. He's everything in his kitchen's 12 volt or gas. So he's I had a look in his boat yesterday. His boat was it's amazing how much you can get in I think his boat's 38 foot. And I was amazed the layout, the different in layouts. There's so many different layouts, but he's done a little bit of tweaking, and he's got his bathroom separate, Jeff, but he's got a sliding door. He had a fixed door which swung out, and it was a pain in the ass. So he got someone to build him a door, and he put it on a slider. So you don't have it opening, it don't get in the way. You can get to the bathroom either way, so the door don't. You know what I mean? So if the door's shut, you can just you just slide it. And for the size of the boat, and he's got a fixed bed, got quite a decent lounge, not a bad kitchen. All in a 38 foot boat. And and he told me a couple of weeks ago, he told me that he changed his propeller for a square edged propeller, and the company he got it from, apparently they've gone out of business now, but that's why his boat's so fast.
Axiom.
Yeah, like squared off at the edges.
Yeah.
His boat flies. His wife moans at him all the time, even on tick over. It's like, I think he can make Cosgrove in an hour and a half, where it takes me 2 hours 15. So it's that different. So but he's in his 80s. He's made. He's a good bloke. He's a wealth of knowledge. Bless him. So so there'll be a few people around to give me any advice, because the bottom bearing's gone on me. The cup. A lot of them go, don't they? They very rarely have bearings in there, don't they?
Mm.
What's yours like? I mean, it's not brilliant. I was half tempted to get it cut off this time and redo it, but I don't know I'm going to have time. What's all yours like? Are yours just sitting in a cup, or is it on a bearing?
Yeah, mine's just sat in a cup.
No bearing.
Couldn't tell you, to be honest. Not really looked.
Did it have a bearing? Or was it always just sat in a cup?
Always sat in a cup.
Yeah.
I've got a bearing on top, which I replaced a couple of months ago with a plastic PTFE one. So I just slit it in half and put it round, dropped it in instead of a roller bearing, because when water comes up, it was just destroying roller bearings. Yeah. So I replaced it with that, and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, on the bottom of quite a few of the boats at the boat club, they've got a lot of them have converted to this. It's like a bearing in a chassis. It's like it's probably about that big, and it's a big round bearing in the middle, and the the rudder goes right in the middle of it.
Plumber's block.
Huh?
You call them plumber's blocks.
Oh, do they? And it's welded onto or bolted onto the what's the bottom arm called?
Skeg.
Yeah, it's welded onto the skeg.
Sorry, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, it's all right. No, I knew it was. I thought it began with S, but I couldn't remember. So yeah, and basically it goes straight into the bearing, and the rudders I've seen that have got them are just like they're like you can steer them with your little finger going along. They're just amazing, and they just But I haven't got time for that, and our skeg's not very wide. And I don't think it's going to take a big bearing like that. It'll be just like perched on our skeg's quite thin, whereas theirs is like proper wide. I'd have to change the whole skeg, and I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that.
And mine, I think you've got to take the arm right out because there's no nut on the top of it.
On what?
I reckon you have to take the rudder off and pull the shaft out somehow because you can't take the handle, you tiller off.
No.
So I think
I don't know. Yeah, to do it, I'd have to take to be honest with you, the top bearing needs replacing anyway. It's got a little bit of play in it.
But I can't take a lot of them. I've seen got nuts on the top of your tiller. On top of the
separating them as well. They're a bitch.
Mine hasn't. Mine's just solid.
Solid.
So I think you have to take the rudder off and pull the tube out.
Oh, really?
I reckon that's the only way I can see you can do it because there's no nut holding it down.
Yeah, apparently, even if it's got a nut, mate, if it's never been off before, it's an absolute arse to get the things out anyway.
Warm it up and use a puller, but there's no nut to undo. So I reckon mine, you have to undo on your rudder, take your rudder off somehow, and then pull the shaft out.
Usually, if you like that, Jeff, your rudder's through a slot in your tiller and it bolts through. So you can undo it, bolt, slide it out, and pull your tiller straight out.
So I reckon.
Mine's in two pieces, so the rudder's actually welded shaft.
Right.
But as it comes through top, it's bolted onto it. So I can just split it, take top off, pull it up, and drop it out if I want.
You have to put your hand down and unbolt the rudder and just pull it up, I reckon. Not that I need to. I keep greasing the top bearing. Always. Yeah.
So Narrowboat, Wackham, and I can't pronounce that. Theirs is a full piece with 3 bolts on the rudder. We're getting Paul Barber to do ours when it's out of the water at the end of September. So there must be some bolts on the rudder. There's bolts on the rudder somewhere which separate it.
Yeah, I reckon that's how you can do it.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a thing because they've got the same thing where theirs is in one piece as well. So, it'd be interesting to know what happens when you get it out of the water, mate. Because it's due blacking. Oh no, you had it done, didn't you? Last year, didn't you?
For me, mine's fine. I'm just saying that mine, you can't get to anything easy.
No,
I keep greasing it because my mate Neil, he's bearing it, but he could undo the top. Pull that off and then undo the bearing and pull that off. But mine, you can't do that.
No. Well, I'll let you know how the blacking and all that goes the next engine room chat. But what we'll do is we'll now whiz round and say what everyone saw or bought or had a wish list or saw any boats at Crick, blah, blah, blah. Because we all went, obviously, Saul, you've got limited input on this.
Might as well leave me to last.
Yeah, we'll save the best till last. Yeah, we obviously I'll just start quickly. We didn't see much of the show, unfortunately, because we were in the craft tent the whole time, pretty much. We did get a chance to have a look at Anthony and Paul's Morning Star, and I thought it was an amazing boat. Absolutely loved it. I think Liam at Oakham's has done a good job for them, and I believe. I really like it. I really like it anyway. I thought it was a nice boat. So, but that's all I saw. That's the only thing I saw. So my input for that was that. So we'll go round to Dave. What did you see? What have you? I know what you bought.
But obviously part of service stuff for engine. Bought a ratchet windlass for Louise that she's been after for a couple of years. Few bits of pieces, few plaques and this, that, and other. But we also had a look at Paul and Anthony's boat. We went on there twice. Lovely boat. I wasn't sure about colour when he first said about it, but it you know, it's a lovely boat. It's a lovely boat. I was speaking to Paul before we went on it second time, and he says, "Ask him to show you the lithium battery setup," which I did, and he showed me that, and that's quite a good setup.
Yeah.
Impressive, well laid away, and that. So yeah, it's an interesting boat, isn't it? It's an interesting boat.
I do, yeah, we had a sort of sneak preview, so we didn't get to see batteries and stuff like that. But we sort of like, because it was still not, they were still sort of just final prepping it when we saw it. But it was good. I think my sister went with you and had a look, didn't she?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I had an interesting chat with Barrus Shire, because we bought our engine from there. They were there last year. They helped us out with a spare ignition key, which I sent them a photo of ours with number on it, and they sent me a free spare key. So I went back and talked to them this year about the possibility of turning our engine into a hybrid.
Right.
And he said that they don't do it yet, but they are looking into it, and they are probably going to make a decision in the next couple of months.
Right.
And he said he hadn't got any prices and how much it would cost, but they've been talking about the theory behind it and what we'd have to do. We'd have to take engine out, send it to them. They'd give it a once over to make sure there were no problems with engine, and then do their thing to make it into an hybrid, then send it us back, and we'd have it put back in. So it was an interesting conversation. And what I said to him, I says, if you're looking for like a guinea pig to work with you, you know, we'd be interested in doing that. You know what I mean? Working with them to help them maybe sort it out and help them along with development side of it and that, which you were quite interested in. So yeah, I'm just waiting for an email from them to see how far they're gonna get along with that. But they've got a big workshop down Bristol way, I think, and they do all their marinization and stuff for the engines and the development work in their own workshop. So
that's interesting.
So that I'd be interested in going down and seeing what they're doing and that. So that was our big thing about Crick. It's something that, you know, going back to Paul and Anthony's boat, theirs is sort of like full electric, sort of like cutting edge technology. But I think you've got to start maybe looking at going hybrid at least at the moment. So while our engine's still fairly new, I mean, it's 8 year old, it's something that we are interested in doing. But the battery banks, because I asked him about battery banks, and he says we wouldn't touch your 12-volt system at all. It'd all be independent.
Right.
So, because I was saying, well, we have to get rid of our battery bank and go lithium. He says no. He says it would all be independent and everything. So yeah, it's an interesting idea, and maybe something will come of it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I saw a lot of the cars that are hybrid have separate battery backs, don't they? A separate battery bank to just run the electric side of the car, as in motion, not the anything else. And then they have a normal 12-volt battery for the 12-volt electrics, the lights and stuff like that. Or is it called a starter? I think it's a start battery, but it's not a starter battery. It's
more like a leisure battery, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more of a, yeah, you're right. It is more of a, I had a look in the bonnet of me son's, he's got a fully electric car the other day, and he said the battery bank's underneath, and this battery here is the main, and this, he said, that's the main battery they're having more problems with. The actual leisure battery, if you want to call it that, it's causing them more problems than the battery banks. So I don't know why, going flat, not being able to run stuff. Yeah. So whether they're not getting charged up properly when they're going along, because I think they get charged by motion, a bit like a boat.
Yeah.
But with some sort of clever charging system. But we'll see. Keep us posted, Dave. Let us know how you get on. So, right, Jeff, what did you? We know you bought a toilet.
Well, we bought a toilet, bought a bike, bought a load of other stuff out of Chandlery.
Did you?
Went on Anthony and Paul's boat. Nice boat. The only thing I don't like about that boat is the paint, the colour. I think if you have a scratch it, it's going to be a nightmare to try and tidy it up. It's got that flake in it, hasn't it?
Yeah. Me and Glenn said that, didn't we? We were talking about
scratch it, it'd be a nightmare. The other boat that won it, I quite like that. The only thing I would knock that one for was the worktops. Didn't like the worktops.
What, the other one?
Yeah, the one that won it. The nice boat, it's just the worktop. I thought they were too busy. We went on one of them floating sheds, if you like to call them that. I don't know what they call them.
I saw that. Actually, that was one other thing we did go and have a look at.
I didn't think much of them either. Really did not think much of them. For the price of them, you could buy a wide beam.
Yeah. I think it was for people.
And the stairs to go upstairs on the roof, well, I got halfway up and thought, no, I'm too old for this. These are so steep. So, yeah, I wasn't impressed with them. But I think the two boats, that first and second, deserved it. But I think there was a couple of things on both of them that I didn't like. I didn't like the colour, as I said, and I didn't like the worktops on the other one.
Yeah.
But, apart from that, we had a nice good weekend. Spent some time with Dale and Dawn. A mate come over with his new missus. They enjoyed. They was amazed how big the boats are inside, because he thought he'd be bending down. He's a tall lad. He went, "This is amazing, isn't it? We could sell our house and buy one of these." Yeah, it was a good weekend. Plenty of beer. It was bloody cold on Sunday, though, wasn't it?
As I say, extra chilli jam Jeff.
I was frozen. I think it's because we've just come back from Cyprus as well. It didn't help.
It was cold that night.
It was bloody cold.
It was bloody cold.
So cold. I've never been so cold in my life.
That Saturday night was pretty nippy.
But yeah,
Saturday or Sunday. Sunday, wasn't it?
Sunday night, wasn't it?
Sunday, yeah. It was bloody cold.
That was freezing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. I enjoyed it.
Good. And you stayed in a hotel rather than camp?
Yeah, we walked. Saturday night we walked back. Took about half an hour. Don't remember much about that actually. And then Sunday we drove.
Yeah,
it was only about half an hour walk.
Actually, it don't take long.
I've been to Crick loads of times, but I've never actually been into the village. It's a lovely little village.
It is a nice village, isn't it? Yeah.
Normally, when you get a delivery at Crick, it's one of the warehouses. You never actually go in. But yeah, it was a nice little village. Well impressed with Crick.
It's surrounded by industry, that place.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Big warehouses. But yeah, I was quite impressed with Crick.
Cool. So, okay, so you can give us your limited knowledge of Crick.
So I got a bacon and sausage sandwich. That was all I bought at the Crick. Bacon and sausage sandwich. That's it. Yeah, I did go to 2 masterclasses though. I went to the Wi-Fi one, and I've been checking out our Wi-Fi. Now our 3-year-old box, Huawei box thing that we were using, our router, is actually a pretty good one. So we don't need to change that, but it does look like we might need to upgrade the antenna. So we've just got to decide on a box one or one of them poles. So that's the only thing we're going to really. I like the box ones because they're short and everything, but the poles are much better apparently. So we're going to look into that. And the other one was paint drying. We watched paint drying. Debbie was ever so impressed with it.
Yeah.
So
Not what she said to us.
Yeah.
I got a good few hints off that, and that was all I saw. Then I spent the rest of the weekend in Coventry Hospital. So
Yeah.
with the reception.
To get out of buying around.
Yeah. Never got around that with him, did we?
Yeah, I saved a fortune. Didn't buy anything really.
Yeah. Just fuel.
Just fuel and car parking costs.
Yeah. You have to pay at Coventry.
Yeah. Luckily, we were there for like 48 hours, so it was only 11 quid because they didn't seem to want to charge us twice. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not yet. You'll get a bill in the post, mate. It's fine.
Probably. You're going to get a demanding letter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it was not my best weekend, but I wanted to go and see. I didn't see any of the boats. I didn't really see any of the stalls. I saw your stall. That was about it. And I only saw a bit of the beer tent. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. But I saw a few YouTubers and a few viewers, so that was all right. You know, Neil was there, boating photographer. He's been on here tonight as well.
Neil's watching. Yeah, he's on now. He said hello earlier. He's watching this with us. Yeah. Now Neil came and saw us as well, which was great.
Yeah.
He's a great bloke, and his pictures are amazing.
They are. And I saw Narrowboat Will, who's I watched him. When he first started his vlogs. I watched him. He's he's on the River Nen or Neen, whichever one now. So yeah, I watched. I saw him. He came over and spoke to me. Came and found me because he watches our video. So it was nice to meet him finally. And I think it was some retired bloke, Dale. Oh yeah, Dale was there. So
I was there. Yeah. Retired is Dale. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to say hello to Colin who watches this. He came and made himself known in just outside your stall, actually, Glenn.
Yeah, I think I remember I remember he said. Yeah, I remember him saying that he watches he watches the engine room chat. Watches our channel, and he watches engine room chat. So I met a few people where the other halves watched our video, and then the other half watched the engine room chat. It was great. We met so many people. To be honest with you, we met so many people.
Yeah, it was good. It seemed like a really much better than last year. I think with COVID sort of being out of the way. There he is.
Yeah,
Jeff the pensioner.
Jeff the pensioner. Haynes Manuel. Yeah. Have you learned anything from it yet, Jeff?
No, I'm dyslexic. I'm only looking at the pictures.
Oh yeah. Does it show any relaxing back and taking out?
There's no pictures in it, Dale. Oh, there's a set of plug leads.
There's old school Dizzy there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see anything at all really. I missed all the boats, like I say, but I did want to get some of that keel black stuff. Yeah, because I was quite interested in, he was going about stuff, and I thought, well, I've got to black the boat, so I thought I might as well have a go at that. But I needed to ask him whether I needed to blast the hull or just I could use it, just scrape off and use it over what I've got now. So I'm going to contact them.
Yeah. They were outside, weren't they?
Yeah, I'm going to contact them and just ask them what they said, because it's 3 really thin coats. You put it on with a felt pad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's got to be really thin.
A bit like a epoxy 2-pack type thing.
Yeah, very similar, but I think it's 1-pack paint. So it was an interesting chat with him, really, because he was talking about this biological rusting or something, or attack on your hull.
There's an orange bug that gets the boats at the moment, and it's what causes pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what causes pits, and it's like I can't remember what they called it. Someone called it something. We had it on our boat when I took it out of the water last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely had. Colin is here, so Colin is watching, by the way. So hello, Colin.
Hey, Colin.
So Colin is simply seen. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, ours don't seem to have much of that this time. So I'm hoping it's got a lot of algae on our.
Yeah, we have
loads of it.
Yeah, we
Even
have.
cruising didn't get it off.
Mm.
It's like a beard. It looks like a beard round the waterline at the moment.
Is it best to leave it on or rub it off?
I don't know. I tried to get it off ours with a really stiff yard brush, and it won't come off.
Yeah, it blasts off because I watched someone do it last week when they took their boat out of the water at our marina, and he literally, as long as you do it straight away, if it gets baked on by the sun, ain't coming off, or it's a real nightmare to get off. So as soon as the boat's out of the water, I've got to get the jet wash straight on it to blast it off while it's wet, because if it dries, it is like concrete. So it just really is hard to get off. So yeah. I'll be doing that on Saturday. I'll let you know. I'll get on with that. So yeah, but yeah. Well, oh yeah, mine's the same. Someone just said mine's they're the same. They're a bit worried about it. I don't think it's anything to worry about. To be fair, I think it's just it's just algae, and it just attaches itself to the boat.
It's with sunlight, isn't it? Just below water level.
Yeah, just in the water. Yeah.
Well, it's coming out, so it'll be going away again, won't
Yeah.
it?
You're going to have loads, mate, on your boat. You ain't moved for ages.
I know, I thought so. Yeah, I was thinking we might have got to be at a float again.
Yeah, have a little bit more weight on the bottom of that boat.
Yeah.
So it's good. It was a good weekend. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad everyone else did. And it's watch this space. I'm sure Louise will get us booked in for next year.
I didn't enjoy it.
Huh?
I didn't enjoy it.
Has she booked a spot, Dave?
I don't know. Don't know yet.
So the lefty boater says, "Oh, let me just put this up here. This is about the stuff on the boat. We'll just quickly have a look at this. Where is it? Oh, it does quite a bit of drag, but I've got a square back end too. Yeah, so have I. Yeah, ours is square as well. So we get a bit more drag. That's what slows us down a little bit. And the way I noticed it, the reason I noticed it so much on our boat is because when the water passes the front of the boat, you sort of just get a ripple. Well, we were getting this like swirl of water which wasn't rippling out. It was just like swirling around the side of the boat, and it was down, and it's this stuff as you're moving along, sort of swedging around, and just basically making it a lot slower to go. Not slower, but you know what I mean. Just not as nice. And then when we stop, because we're quite fat ended at the front, it's quite a fat front. It picks up sticks and everything. So with that on it as well, they just hang on to the stick. So you end up pushing half of a tree down the canal, which I know when that's happening because it sort of don't want to go properly. So yeah, a lot of people have said to us, "Oh, do you know you're pushing half a tree in front of your boat?" Yeah, thanks. Yeah, stop or send Lisa down with a pole to push it off. But apart from that, all good. Well, what can I say? I'm gonna. I thought it was better to have a square bum. That's Louise said. She thought it was better. I don't think it is it?
No, it isn't.
I think it's a nightmare to get out of locks as well, because if you've got a sharp, you know what I mean, with a round end, at least you've got a bit of give for the turn. Where a square end just catches it on the rear corner. Yeah, I would. We've got a square end, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy. I would buy another one, but I would look for a normal shaped one. I think in future, it's good for a deck. you get a good, a good back deck out of it. But anyway, I've gone on for long enough. What time is it? It's 7:45, 8:44. I'll let you know how it goes. And thank everyone for watching. And Louise, thank you for mainly doing the narration on the side there. She's been chatting to everybody, so that was brilliant. So thank you for that. And I'm going to wrap it up now. Barely Floating Soul. See you next month. Chilli Jam Jeff. See you next month. Yeah. And Dave from Narrowboat Changing Pace. We'll see you next month as well. I'll see you later. Cheers.
Yeah. Bye.
See you, everyone. Bye.